everyone, welcome back to the workshop. Artisan Pirate here, and in today's fun scroll saw project video, I have another amazing design by Steve Good, and it is a musical theme project. You guys know I love music. I've got music constantly going out here in the workshop, in the house, when driving. It just puts me in a good mood, and whatever mood I am in depicts the genre of music I listen to. I listen to a lot of beach music, classics, oldies but goodies, some newer rock and roll, stuff like that. You see I have the guitar sitting behind me. I've recently picked up the Les Paul guitar again and started fiddling with it. It's been hanging on the wall in my room for years and it had like an inch of dust on it. But I did clean it up and I've got it tuned up, and again I've just been messing with it. I've got the pattern printed out to its full size and attached to our material with clear packing tape, and all the material in this project is going to be 1/4 inch thickness, and it is a multi-part project. We're going to stack cut and make 2 at one time and finish 1 in this video. So with it being a multi-part project, I've got a picture of the finished design saved to the phone to where I can look at it when we go to do the glue up. But really cool, the project depicts the classic shape of a guitar body, as you see there, with a man here playing music, and the guitar neck he has extends out along the pattern. It's got some musical notes and symbols up here, so really cool. We're going to cut the backer board out first and go on and get that painted to save some time and get the project done quicker, and then we will proceed to scroll out everything else. As it is a multi-part project, I've done my best when I cut out the patterns and attached them to our material to line up the grain. I think grain direction plays a huge part in how a project finishes. So you can see there I've tried to keep the grain going every way in one uniform way as it can go. So really cool. What I'm about to do now is flip the music back on and head over to the drill press, drill all the pilot holes required so we can head back to the scroll saw and start scrolling. And over here on the drill press, we're going to begin by taking a small drill bit and drilling all of the pilot holes for internal cutting on the project, and then we will head over to the scroll saw and begin scrolling again. I am going to quickly cut out the backer board here so we can sand it off camera and go on and get it painted to save some time. And I'm going to choose a nice burgundy background, and you see I'm spraying in a top-down manner, which will play a key later on in the video. But then it's back to the scroll saw to finish scrolling everything out, starting with some of the smaller parts. I am using a number 5 Ultra reverse tooth blade, and they will cut through both layers of the 1/4 inch material exceptionally well with minimal chip out. Sometimes cutting out smaller pieces can be very tedious, but just keep a good firm grip on everything and you will be fine. If you guys would like to try this pattern, it is available as a free pattern download over at Steve Good's scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com website over in his free pattern catalog. And there is a couple different versions of this actual pattern, a bigger version and a smaller version, in the pattern pack you download from Steve's website. Music has always played a huge part in my life. Of course, the old gospel hymns in church, listening to them being sung, and I remember being real little and my grandma singing Bible hymns to me while she rocked me in the chair. And as you get older, your musical taste develops. I have been to several concerts. I was fortunate enough to see the original 4 members of KISS in full bombastic show in makeup and all. I've seen Alan Jackson, the country music star, I think 3 times, and I've seen several beach bands perform, including the Embers. As always, taking my time and letting the blade do the work. I'm not forcing the material into the blade, and I'm being as loyal as I can to the cut line. If you guys like what you're seeing, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel and also follow me over on Instagram at Artisan Pirate. I'd really appreciate the support. Coming along here and doing the final internal cut.
and then we will retension the blade and do the final release cut. And once everything is lined up, I will say, as I always say, it's very important to be as loyal as you can to the cut line, especially around the guitar neck here, especially on this project, because there's going to be 3 identical pieces that stack up once the project is glued up. So just being as loyal as I can to that line. Now that all the scroll work is done, we will remove all the pieces from the waste wood and get all the pieces for one project together and set the other pieces aside. I will finish that one off camera, but I will sand everything with 100 grit sandpaper in the palm sander, and the smaller parts I sanded by hand with, again, 100 grit sandpaper and just a hand sander. And I will stain everything with Minwax wood stain, and this is a new stain I picked up. But once everything is stained, I will set it aside to dry. And it takes around an hour for everything to dry for a glue up, so I just messed around with the guitar for a little bit, just practicing the few notes that I do know. But once everything was dry, it was time to assemble everything, and you see I have a picture of the finished project there on the phone. That's always a good idea for multi-part projects. And I'm assembling everything with medium grade CA glue, activator, and little spring clamps to help apply pressure. And once everything is glued up, I will leave it in the clamps around 5 minutes to make sure everything is completely cured. But then I will come back and remove the clamps, and as you see, there's a border there that's not stained from the painted backer board, so we will stain around the border here and stain the back of the project and set it aside to dry. And then once it was completely dry, it was time to give it a few coats of Rust-Oleum clear gloss for protection and finish.
And here we have the completed guitar theme piece cut out completely on the scroll saw, and it finished up amazing. Thank you, Steve Good, for another fantastic pattern from your pattern catalog. If anyone is curious, this is one of his newer pattern offerings from this year. I get a lot of questions about when the pattern came out, but really, really cool. It took me around 25 minutes to scroll everything out, and everything came out nice and precise. And I will say, with the 3 layers here that ends up being for the guitar neck that extends past the actual border of the project here, you need to be as loyal as you can to your cut line to make sure everything lines up and assembles properly. And you see here, everything kind of did, and I'm so happy with how this came out. The way I finished it was just how I wanted to finish it in my head. There is a multitude of ways to finish scroll saw projects always, and I'm probably going to finish the other one that we have off camera just the same way, because I love how this one came out, and I'm probably going to give the other one to someone I know personally that really knows how to play the guitar. So really, really cool, and great way to make to a thing just by stack cutting. But I had a lot of fun making this. When we did paint it, I did paint it in a top-down manner, hopefully that none of that excess spray paint would get along the edges, and you see there is a little bit here, and especially around the guitar neck. But if you're going to hang this on a wall, you're not going to see it unless you take it off the wall and analyze it in a very meticulous way. But that's just how I've done that. If I could go back and do it again, and how I should have done it was take some acrylic craft paint and paint it that way, I'd have made sure that no paint extended anywhere along the border there. But like I said when I started the video, grain direction is very important in this project, and I lined up all the pieces when doing the prep work the day before as best I could to make sure everything looked nice and uniform. And it looks like I got off just a little bit on the arm, but everything else lines up, and you see how uniform and how much more beautiful it makes it when the grain direction matches. So a lot of things you can do with this. Again, I'm going to probably give the other one to a friend that has guitars and plays it exceptionally well, but really, really cool. I know I can't play the guitar. I do have the guitars. I am trying to learn, you know, just the basic notes, and I'm just having fun learning. That is something that's always important. Have fun while you're learning. But really, really cool. I had a lot of fun making this, and I hope you guys like watching me make it. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, and also follow me over on Instagram at Artisan Pirate. Links to all my social medias as well as ways to contact me will always be linked down in the description box below these videos. That's about all for this one, and remember guys, if I can make it or do it, so can you. I'm the Artisan Pirate. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon.